802-560-6197.
All right, Lincoln, if you're a diesel technician who's ready to earn up to $40 an hour and you're tired of working nights and weekends, listen up. Inland Truck Parts and Service is hiring experienced diesel technicians right here in Lincoln, and they're offering what every hardworking tech wants. Monday through Friday hours, no nights, no weekends, and paid training on advanced diesel technology. With 37 locations across 12 states, career advancement opportunities are endless. Start building towards your future and apply today at inlandtruck.com. That's inlandtruck.com. Or text APPLY to 785-369-1320.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
MWR is dedicated to building attractive, affordable steel buildings that exceed your expectations. From commercial to residential to agriculture storage, steel buildings are cost-effective, attractive, and versatile. Plus, they're a lasting investment and an ideal choice. MWR uses Sentinel Building Systems out of Albion and can service you all over the state and region. If you have interest in a steel building, post-frame building, or fencing, give MWR a call today at 402-980-5273 or go to mwrbuildingandfence.com.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Deciding on a college with your high school senior can be a little overwhelming for parents. But applying for money to pay for it is simple. FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid, is now easier than ever with fewer questions and faster fill-out times. If you have a high school senior, now is the time to apply for thousands of dollars for classes, books, and housing. Get started, Nebraska, at dothefafsa.org. Sponsored by Education Quest Foundation. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Concrete Industries has immediate job openings for precast production laborers and maintenance technicians. Concrete Industries offers great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, holidays, and paid time off. Apply today to earn a starting pay of $21.50 per hour plus a $1,500 hiring bonus. Concrete Industries is hiring all experience levels and offers on-the-job training. Start your career today as a precast production laborer or maintenance technician. Visit concreteindustries.com.
As an 18-year-old, I let my mistakes kind of take over my life. I was 0.5 credits away from completing high school, and I didn't do it.
10 years later, at age 28, Jackie finished her high school diploma.
When I found out that I was pregnant, I know that I had to do something for myself if I wanted to make her a better person and provide a better life for her. My family never stopped pushing for me to be better because they knew what I could become and who I could become as a person. My support team is amazing. The educational director, my sister, and even my 7-year-old daughter has just been more than the support that I could ask for. I've been given an opportunity, and I'm just thankful for it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
I think it's just vapor. Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
One vape pod has as much nicotine as one pack of cigarettes.
My kid
knows it's dangerous. 5.4 million American kids vape, and most think it's harmless. Get your head out of the cloud. Talk to your kid about vaping. Visit talkaboutvaping.org. That's talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
This is the Don't Punt Hour with former Nebraska receiver.
Throwing over the middle, completes the pass. He's got speed to the end zone. Touchdown! 45 yards.
And return specialist.
This time he beats the kicker and one more.
DeMornay Pierson-El.
Only does the sideline have confidence in Pierson-El, but Pierson-El has confidence in Pierson-El.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program.
All right, welcome in. Don't Punt Tower, Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. We got the morning Pierson-El on the Allo VIP line where they understand the importance of exceptional service with a local heart. If you guys want to join in, 402-464-5685. That is the Southern Heyman text line, Facebook, YouTube, X, Allo Channel 961. All great ways to put a face to the voice and the Allo VIP line graphic for this instance. But the morning Pierson-El, how's it going on chilly Wednesday night?
You know, I'm not a fan of the cold, but I'm doing okay.
Yeah, I mean, well, it got cold where you were from too, in the DMV area. Was there like any real adjustment?
Yeah, but
coming
it's
to Nebraska?
Nebraska cold is a different cold. I'm starting to get miserable.
Yeah. I don't disagree with you. I said it at the Michigan State game, where, don't get me wrong, I like the sweater weather. My problem is it's like 2 weeks maybe before it sweats and heavy coat weather. So enjoy it while you can. It's a little chilly, but it's not too miserable. But we're going to talk a little bit of football, but mainly some basketball. The official start of the NBA season started yesterday, the morning Pierson-El. And if you're the NBA, you couldn't have asked for a better game to kick things off. You had an overtime win for the Thunder over the Rockets, 124-125. You got to see the debut of Kevin Durant in a Rockets jersey. And then also you got to see once again the MVP of last year, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, let his face be known. Kind of close out that game once again. Just a pest to keep up the free throw line, and he's the guy that kind of puts the nail in the coffin for the Thunder. And then, of course, you had the Warriors and Lakers after that. Not much of a contest, a late push by the Lakers, but the Warriors pretty comfortably cruise into that one, led by 37-year-old Steph Curry. And then no LeBron James in that game, as he's out with sciatica, which I'm not entirely sure of, other than like some nerve issues around the spine, that lower back area. But nonetheless, your thoughts just on the Rockets are right back where they were. I know they lost to the Thunder, but that team looks like a nightmare. Sengun popped off in that one. I believe he had, 39 points for Sengun, 11 rebounds, 7 assists, given overtime, right? But he played 49 minutes. And then Kevin Durant had 23 points off of 47 minutes. He had 9 rebounds, 3 assists. Like I said, for the Thunder, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander gives you 35, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. And then Chet Holmgren, he gives you 28.7 rebounds, 2 assists. What are your takeaways from what probably were 2 of the favorites already in the West, popping off on might be one of the best games of the regular season, ironically enough, even though it was the very first game of the regular season?
I think the Rockets are letting people know actually how close they are. I mean, even at the beginning of things, I think the West is definitely deep. That could have been a preview of, maybe a Western Conference final, or, at best, at least, definitely a playoff matchup. But both teams exciting. Both teams are hungry and everything like that. And as you said, the Rockets did lose some things and everything like that, but it seems like they're kind of picking up right where they're taking off. So I'm anxious to kind of see what they look like for the rest of the season, actually.
Yeah, and just for reference, like you go look at last year's standings, the number 1 team in the West was the Thunder. The number 2 team in the West was the Houston Rockets. So right on par with about how the regular season finished out, and no surprise that was a close one. And I do think, the addition of Kevin Durant to that team makes them a nightmare to stop. They already got a bunch of length and size on that team. Thompson going down with injury certainly didn't do him any favors. That kind of hurt him late in the game. But that team's loaded with talent. And last year they finished 52-30. I don't see any real drop from those guys. I don't really see any drop from the Thunder. But moving to the next game, Los Angeles Lakers, especially without LeBron James, I don't know what the timetable looks like him. Again, with sciatica, I couldn't really tell you. Seems like it's a thing that kind of flares up, if I'm not mistaken, if you don't take care of it appropriately and get enough rest, it can flare up on you again. But even with LeBron James, Luka poured his heart and soul out for that game. Just to give you the stats on that one, Luka Doncic had 43 points, 12 rebounds, 9 assists. Austin Reeves did pretty well in that second half. He had 26, but between those two, you really didn't have any other offense. DeAndre Ayton gives you 10 points in 34 minutes. Rui Hachimura gives you 9 points in 35 minutes. You get 3 from Gabe Vincent, and then you get 5 from LaRavia off the bench, and then 9 from Smart off the bench, and then number 4 for Jackson Hayes off the bench. But it was kind of the Luka Doncic show all over again. I don't know. that's one of those teams that I think is going to take a significant drop. Last year, they were 50-32. Depending on LeBron James, if he doesn't come back anytime soon, as great as Luka is, you can't rely on a 40-year-old LeBron James even when he does come back, and you can't rely on Luka just pulling the entire team to victories. Bad sign from I thought the Lakers in that first game.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a team sport, and today in today's age with multiple superstars on teams and everything like that, you're gonna have to have a solid team. Not to say that they don't. They're gonna have to come. They're gonna have to show up and play, night in and night out, regardless with LeBron or without LeBron. Does he make a difference? I think so, but I mean, even still, LeBron is who he is at what age, still doing stuff. This is popping up early at the beginning of the season, and after he's had an off season to rest and everything like that. I mean, is that foreshadowing something for the rest of the season to come? I'm not too sure of, but JJ better get some things turned around and get some guys going, because it can get ugly pretty fast, especially with how stacked the West is. Kind of their bare minimum isn't going to be enough to be a scary team.
Yeah, and again, even when you get LeBron James back, it feels like this might be the last year for LeBron James. I have no idea. He had was it Hennessy? I can't remember what the ad was that he did, where it was like the fake announcement type of deal where they got a little bit of buzz off of it. How many more years do you think LeBron James is going to go for?
That's hard. I'm not really sure. It depends on what he feels like he has left in the tank. That he just got Luka, so he might give this thing another 2 or 3 years. I potentially could see if they can get something together. When AD came to LA, he got another ship. Luka is an ascending superstar and an ascending person, face of the league. They maybe feel like a couple pieces away, so he might hold off another 2, maybe 3 years. But after that, it's definitely uncertain.
Yeah, and there's some interesting things that note going on with the Lakers as well. The one thing that stuck out to me, and I had to do a bunch of research, figure out, is this guy injured or what's going on here? Me and DP talked about it at the end of the night as that game was going on. Their number one pick not the number one overall pick, but their first pick in the draft last year, and Dalton Connect did not play at all yesterday on coach's decision. Was not hurt. And again, I just broke down how bad they were struggling for offense there. Luka Doncic.
How does that happen? And especially in a game where LeBron is not playing, I don't know. That's very, very weird.
Well, remember when they tried to trade him last year and it got rejected? It went through and then it got denied. I don't know if it's a JJ Redick and beef with Dalton Connect thing, but yeah, did not see the floor at all. As far as I know, he wasn't hurt. I didn't catch any injury news on him. The last time he was injured was summer league on a minor calf sprain. So as far as I know, he was fully healthy to play. Did not get in. Bronny James, also of note, he was on the roster, did not get in either. But I don't know what that team is. You're going to lean off of Jared Vanderbilt, Marcus Smart off the bench as your two guys that can come in there. And then once LeBron James come back, Gabe Vincent, your weapons off the bench are Vanderbilt, Smart, and Vincent. That doesn't seem like a very lethal team. And if you have a bunch of young guys in your starting lineup, that's one thing. But again, you got 40-year-old LeBron James. When he comes back, you're going to want to keep him on the floor for the entire time, knowing that you don't got a lot of help on the bench there. So 50 games was their win total last year. You going to go over or under?
You said 50 was their win total last year. I'm going under.
Yeah, I'm going under by a significant.
I think they get exactly the same.
Yeah, and then some games going on right now. There's only 2 games last night on the season opener day for the NBA. Right now, you do have Cavaliers, Knicks, halftime Knicks leading at 65-50. You got Heat Magic, Orlando Magic, leading at 69-65. Hornets leading the Nets 64-55. Hawks, Raptors, 2-point game. Second quarter really just getting rolling here. Same thing with the 76ers, Celtics, Pelicans, Grizzlies, Pistons, Bulls, Wizards, Bucks. All those games just tipping off. And I'll tell you right now, between all those games, the one team to really keep an eye on, at least for me, is the Boston Celtics. We've talked about it a little bit already. No Tatum. It's going to be the Jaylen Brown show for a while. And that's another team where I'm going to ask you that same question. Their total last year was 61 wins, 21 losses. Can they be right in that mix, or do you expect a drop off from the Boston Celtics?
I think a little drop off, but I don't think it'll be by much. The East is a lot easier than what the West is. It's going to look different, but they have a lot of key role players that definitely can step up. So, and they also did have some people that departed. But, I still think they'll be one of the stronger teams in the East. It may not be 61. It may be, 60 or something like that. So I still think they'll be in that range, definitely.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think they're going to be fine. That East is a little bit weaker, and there's not a lot of teams in the East that you're super scared of right now. Like, I'll be honest. Like, maybe the Knicks, Pacers, we talked about before. It's going to be the Pascal Siakam show until they can get Halliburton back. The Cleveland Cavaliers are the one team that I'm locked to be consistent again, especially some of the moves they made in the offseason. Give me the team, though, and we'll go each conference here. Give me a dark horse in the East, because this happens every single year. There's a team that does not get talked about whatsoever that has a crazy win total and sneaks into the playoffs. Last year was the Pacers. Even though the Pacers looked pretty solid 2 years ago, no one was taking them seriously enough. Give me a team in the East. Keep your eyes on.
I've been kind of high on them, since last year, but I think Orlando. And I don't think they're a dark horse. I think a lot of people know it can kind of, see things coming and whatnot. They were the 5th seed last year.
They were just in the play-in spot. So they were, let's see. Yeah, they were the 7th seed. 41-41, okay. Right at 500.
So I think they can definitely improve and get to a better position. They got a lot of young stars down there, especially with how the kind of East is and whatnot. They got another year of experience, another good group kind of coming in there. I expect them to take a significant jump this year.
I do too. Paulo Banchero, again, we hype him up all the time. He's going to get better as this goes along. If he stays healthy, he's going to be a problem. I like the Orlando Magic. I like him as one of the dark horses. Everybody in the East, I don't know what to tell you. Wizards, Hornets, 76ers, Nets, Raptors, none of those guys are really scaring me. My Bulls definitely aren't. The Hawks are a mess. The Trae Young experiment, in my mind, is kind of grinding to a halt. The Miami Heat, maybe they're frisky, but not a lot there. And then the Detroit Pistons last year were actually 44-38. It'll be interesting to see if they can repeat that. But nothing in these.
I would say between the Pistons. But the Pistons, that's not even a shocker either. I think a lot of people are going to expect them to take the next step as well. They have a physical team. I think they just kind of got. If they were on the other side and didn't go through New York first, I think they would have made a little bit of a playoff run. So I expect a lot from Detroit too. I think Detroit's going to be a lot to deal with.
Yeah, there'll be something to deal with. I don't know. We talk about this every year, and trust me, I'd like to talk about it differently. But hey, once again, the West is loaded, the East is not. You're going to have a lot more easier games in that Eastern Conference than you are in that Western Conference. And we do got unknown texter 3027. John Maiden here saying Orlando for sure, as opposed to those teams are going to make some significant jumps. I like that one. I think it's a safe one. Again, you got a young crew that just looks like they're getting better, and you got an established leader. Now we can talk about the West. The West is good luck. I don't know.
Stacked. It's 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 hard to say a dark horse, but I probably have, 2, maybe 3 favorites out of the West that I'm okay, I really kind of like what they're doing and everything like that. I like what Dallas has and everything like that. I think if they can stay healthy, everybody look out. Wemby has another year, under his belt, what they're doing down in San Antonio. He kind of went on a summer workout tour. He was with Kevin Garnett and Hakeem and Houston and everything like that. So I think he's definitely going to, take a pace. So I really want to see what San Antonio is going to do. The Clippers brought back Chris Paul, and I think, him being a floor manager with Kawhi and everything that they got going, there with James Harden and whatnot, that's a team that you got to look out for. The West has a lot going on. The West is definitely way more exciting than the East.
Yeah, we'll just go for reference again. When you want to talk about which conference is better, you don't have to try very hard. So We referenced the 7th seed in the East to be that first play-in team was the Orlando Magic. Yeah, and a good squad, but nothing major. They were 500 at 41-41. The Golden State Warriors were the 7th seed in the West at 48-34. And that's playing in the Western Conference where you're playing more Western Conference teams and tougher competition. So, again, last year, it was another year where by the time you look at the West versus East record, the West were pretty dominant. And it's been that way for a few years in a row now. And until something changes, that's the way I'm going to keep talking about how unbalanced these conferences are. But last year, to your point, how tight of a race it was. We talked about the Thunder. They pulled away 68-14. Then you get to the second best record in the West, Rockets 52-30. Third best, Lakers 50-32. Fourth best, Nuggets 50-32. Fifth best, Clippers 50-32. Sixth best, Minnesota 49-33. And then I said it, Warriors 48-34. Memphis Grizzlies 48-34. And then you get your first drop off with the Kings 40-42. But that's insane. You have 1, 2, 3 teams all with the exact same record at your 3, 4, and 5 spots in that Western Conference. And then everybody, I mean, it's only a game really separating the play-in teams to the teams who got a lock spot. So unreal. I think that's going to be a similar case again. It's going to probably get more interesting because I think the Suns are kind of dying out. I don't know if they can make a pop, but the Mavericks, to your point, they're going to probably be significantly better this year, even without Luka. The way that just happened last year, there wasn't a good feeling.
I mean,
in there.
you got Cooper Flag who doesn't have to be the guy right now.
Mm-hmm.
You got Kyrie coming back healthy. You got AD that's going to be healthy, playing the 4 instead of the 5. You got 2 guys that can play the 5. I mean, you got PJ. They got so many weapons.
A ton.
They might just run the table with people. I think once they get into a groove and everything like that. I mean, they're big and tall and physical. I think they're going to be a problem as long as everybody can stay healthy.
Especially if they have one of those years from Klay Thompson, where Klay Thompson shooting
lights
out.
I forgot about Klay. Oh my goodness.
That's what I'm saying.
Like it's not. I don't. If Dallas can stay healthy, I think they run the West, and I don't think it'll be close. And I'm taking them over OKC. I'm taking them over Denver. I think they will be definitely the team to beat if they can stay healthy.
Man, their GM loves you. He's gotten so much hate over last year, but I mean, with that take, he'll take that any day. I don't know. Maybe if AD can stay healthy, that's always the problem with him is can he stay healthy? And he is one of the best players in the league. Like whether you think he's soft or whatever you want to call him, when he's healthy, he is the dominant figure. And even, those games with Jokic usually gets the best of him, but AD's still putting up, 25, 10 rebounds pretty consistently. So if he can stay healthy, they're a real threat. And then the Kings, I don't know if they really do anything. They did add Russell Westbrook to the mix, but I'm not super high on them. The Grizzlies, though.
They're just in the West. Like if that team was in the East, I think they could do something. I like Russ with the Kings. I think they'll definitely appreciate him versus some of the last spots that haven't. I'm surprised Denver really kind of let him kind of get out of there. I feel like he was kind of saving them in the playoffs because that's the only time Murray shows up.
Yep.
The Kings are just in the Western Conference. If they were not in the Western Conference, I think that people will be talking a lot about them a lot more. But I like what they're doing. I just don't know if it's going to be enough with how deep the West is.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. It's not like I hate the Kings, but it's like I don't, good luck, buddy. That's kind of all I got for you. You're going to be in an absolute battle anytime you're playing these Western Conference games. One team that's interesting is the Grizzlies. I mean, obviously the whole John Morant situation last year, they were struggling without him. And then when they got him back, it was a bit rusty. They finished last year with a pretty decent record, but it took a while to get there, 48-34. But they'll be back in the mix. But two teams I want to talk about. The Spurs quickly. I think they just haven't spent a ton of money on that roster yet. I think it's a development year. They'll be fun to watch. I don't think it's a real contender. But the Pelicans, any faith in the rebirth of...
No.
Okay. That was quick.
I need to see it first before I can say, oh yeah, like no, I'm not giving any benefit of the doubt. Like, I need to see I need to see it work before I can, put a few coins in that slot.
Yeah, give me Duke Zion and I'm with you. But I need somebody to be a real leader on that team. Again, last year they won 21 games. They were almost the worst team in the entire Western Conference at 21-61. The only one that was worse was the Utah Jazz at 17-65. So even if Zion is really, really good or better than he was last year, they're not going to be great. He has to be like a new guy completely, or be that Duke version of Zion where he's not only dominating on offense, but also defense, because that team's going to, I think, once again, kind of struggle on that defensive side of the court. I don't got a lot of faith in him. It'll just be fun. Keep your eyes on Zion. See if he lives up to the hype of the offseason so far, where people's expectations for him have certainly gone up a bit. And I know they tipped off. Let's see how he's doing. He's got 0 points, but they are beating the Grizzlies 22-9. So something's going on there where it looks like they might be getting a bunch of free throws, but we'll give you score updates in some of these bigger games as they go on. But that's a quick rundown on the NBA as it did tip off yesterday. We take a look at the standings, look at some of the teams who's maybe going to drop, who's going to rise. And once again, we're looking at the West kind of just honestly taking a wild swing at it. It's such a packed conference. It's really hard to separate them. In the East, it's a lot easier as we went through. With that being said, we'll go to break. Don't go anywhere, though. This is the Don't Punt Hour. We got the Warren A. Pierson-El on the Owl VIP line. Harrison Arns back at the studio. We will talk to you guys on the other side.
Hi, everybody. Charlie Stone back again with Andy Goodyear of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, there are so many great things to talk about right now. Let's start with new and pre-owned vehicles.
Thanks, Charlie. Yeah, we're all excited those days of inventory shortages are behind us. Right now, we have more than 400 new Hondas to choose from and over 125 pre-owned with just about any make or model in stock.
I know certified pre-owned Hondas are a very important part of your dealership. Tell us about certified, Andy.
We always have a great selection of certified pre-owned Hondas in stock in like new condition, and they also come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty.
How about service?
You know, our amazing service department not only services Hondas, but we service just about any make, and we are one of the largest tire dealers in the state. Look us up the next time you need tires on your car.
Experience the best at the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business, 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
Rick Heyman here from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. You can count on Sartor Heyman for the very best quality, value, and customer service. When it comes to your jewelry needs, visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at sartorheyman.com, and thank you for your continued trust after all these years.
MWR is dedicated to building attractive, affordable steel buildings that exceed your expectations. From commercial to residential to agriculture storage, steel buildings are cost-effective, attractive, and versatile. Plus, they're a lasting investment and an ideal choice. MWR uses Sentinel Building Systems out of Albion and can service you all over the state and region. If you have interest in a steel building, post-frame building, or fencing, give MWR a call today at 402-980-5273 or go to mwrbuildingandfence.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, areas of frost this morning. Otherwise, we'll see lots of sunshine with a light breeze, the high near 66. Tonight, mainly clear skies and calm winds, below around 38. Tomorrow, areas of frost in the morning. Otherwise, mainly sunny with light winds, and the high near 65. I'm meteorologist Kyle Flecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at gainatrucking.com.
Harvest season is here, and Acres has discounted many of our late model John Deere combines. Get thousands in discounts and upgrade now. Plus, you could save even more with interest rates starting as low as 1.9% on select units. Low interest rates combined with our huge discounts, there's not a better time to buy. Visit acres.com for all the details. That's akrs.com. Restrictions apply. Offer ends September 30th, 2025. Subject to approved financing. Offer may change at any time without notice.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Midwest Bank is hosting our annual Thanksgiving food drive, partnering with local Lincoln schools to provide Thanksgiving dinners to families in need. We hope to provide meals for more than 120 families in our community this year. You can help by dropping off a donation at either Midwest Bank location, 7001 Pioneers Boulevard or 2655 Jamie Lane. Any donation is greatly appreciated. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank, member FDIC.
Have you heard about Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center? Located at 7555 Pioneers Boulevard, Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center offers compassionate, patient-focused care and provides outpatient surgery services, making it possible to have non-emergency surgery and return home the same day. Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center specializes in cardiology, vascular radiology, orthopedics, pain management, and much, much more. Give them a call today at 402-261-1085 or online at amimaging.com.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program. Here is your host, DeMornay Pierson-El.
Welcome back in segment number 2. Harrison runs the ones and twos. We got DeMornay Pierson-El on the Allo VIP line, 402-464-5685. You guys are always welcome to join in. And DeMornay Pierson-El, let's talk about a little bit of Husker football. We're not going to talk about Northwestern. We'll leave those guys for tomorrow, 11 a.m. kickoff as well. And there's volleyball that day as well. So we'll have postgame for both of those on Saturday. And there's also volleyball Friday. So we'll have postgame for volleyball on Friday. Plenty of postgames is my point. But I want to talk about this Minnesota game in a little bit more and more of where is the mental state of Husker football? Because, again, that is a game where nothing was going. Well, just quickly, I'm just going to go through the drive chart of that game. Minnesota, 3 and out. Nebraska, 3 and out punt. Minnesota, 6 plays punt. Nebraska, first quarter, they do get a field goal to make it 3-0. Second quarter starts. 4 plays, touchdown. Minnesota. Nebraska, 3 and out punt. Minnesota, 3 and out punt. Nebraska, 9 plays, and they take 5 minutes, 30 seconds off the clock. Get some penalties, unfortunately, so you take another field goal. 6-7. Minnesota gets the ball back. 9 plays, they punt. End of the half, with Nebraska having the ball, they run 4 plays. They get take 3 more plays, start of the third quarter, and they punt. Switch the possession. Minnesota, 14 plays. They take 9 minutes off the clock. They get a touchdown, 6-14. Now the pressure's on. Nebraska, how do you respond? 3 and out, punt. All right, fourth quarter starts. 4 plays. Minnesota, touchdown. Only took them 1 minute and 36 seconds. Nebraska needs to respond. 6 plays, punt. Minnesota responds again. They get a field goal, 8 plays. They take 4 minutes, 30 seconds off the clock. It is now 6-24, and now we're at the point where 7 plays, Nebraska turns it over on downs. Minnesota gets the ball, they punt, so they don't really care. They just want to end the game. Nebraska runs 2 plays, doesn't matter. -5 yards on the entire possession, and you lose the game, 6-24. That second half was miserable to go through. I mean, it's punt, 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 punt every time. Not great. Or you turn it over on downs. Good morning, Pierson-El. You heard a lot in the press conferences over the weeks. Entitlement. Luke Lindenmeyer saying we felt like we needed to put on a show as opposed to play 60 minutes of football. Where do you think this team is mentally right now? Do you think they're going to respond well after, I'll just say it was an embarrassing weekend, I'm sure, for those guys and the staff. That's another key word that they said in these press conferences. Where do you think they're at?
I mean, it needed to be said. This needs to be a key victory. This is an important game this week. So, they better snap out of it, get their heads, kind of back situated and sit up right. This game needs to be a statement game, to kind of settle things or whatnot, or things could honestly, get ugly or be Penn State like, where in a panic type situation. I'm not saying we're going to fire a roll or anything like that, but to where, things are unraveling for how things, have been, for as good as they've been and everything like that. So, focus on the main things, execution, assignment right, just go out there, play consistent football, and play a better level of Nebraska football, and things should be fine. You should come out on top as long as you handle business and do what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, exactly. Do what you're supposed to do. And again, the word that, really probably drove some people up a wall, and I understand how it can happen. It never should, was that entitlement part. Nebraska is great as every baby step we make forward of progress. Like, that just can never be in the picture at Nebraska until we actually do something. Me and Raph were talking about, like, the Bad Boy Mowers Bowl is not the bowl game to make you feel like you're back. 2 road game wins versus a down Michigan State team and a, decent Maryland team, but still not a Ohio State in Indiana or Oregon, but an okay Maryland team. Those 2 wins should never give you any sort of entitlement. I mean, those are the games that Ohio State and Oregon and Indiana, like I said, they can kind of roll in. And even if they don't have their best day, they'd probably find a way to win it. For Nebraska, we're still at the point where if you don't have your best day, you're pretty much guaranteed to lose. Or if you don't give all the effort that you have in the tank that day, you're probably going to lose that game, because we are nowhere near the talent level of any of those teams yet. We just aren't. Whether it's talent or culture, we're not that yet. And to put it in perspective, how many teams in the Big Ten out of 18 would you put into that top tier?
Probably 3 or 4.
3 or 4. So Indiana, Ohio State, Oregon, and maybe you put somebody else in there, but I'm with you.
I mean, Penn State, yes, before the firing of Franklin.
Yeah,
I know how everything was going, but they're still in that tier.
Yeah, if they had Franklin, I wouldn't even fight you on it that much, because I really do think they just ultimately panicked on that firing. We've talked about that before, but what I want to get to is, again, like Northwestern, it should be a game. You go in there and win, and oddly enough, Nebraska does respond well after losses. You remember last year, you get blown out by Indiana, and then you go play Ohio State on the road at the Shoe, and it's actually a close game all the way down to the wire versus a good future national champion Ohio State. They responded well. And the analogy I used yesterday with Raph is like Nebraska, like we get this entitlement. If anyone knows anything about Mount Everest, it's multiple camps to get to the summit. Nebraska gets to camp 2, and then they start puffing out their chest. And then they get knocked down to base camp, and then they lock in again, and they make that progress. But it just feels like we get that second camp or whatever, and then that for some reason that entitlement seems to slip in there, or that lack of focus. And Northwestern's another one of those teams that's feeling good. They're 5-2. Nebraska's 5-2. Minnesota is 5-2 after they beat us. And we're still in that middle group of teams, is all I'm trying to say. And that's what kind of shocks me, that Nebraska seems to respond worse after wins and better after losses. And that's the biggest culture change that, in my opinion, and it needs to happen. I don't know what that is. And maybe you can explain it better, or maybe, I'm just seeing it wrong, but that's what I see. I see the team that responds well after losses and responds horrendously after wins.
Yeah, that's a sticky situation. I think as far as this year, I can't attest to other things and everything like that. I think they kind of got big headed with some stuff and everything like that, and they kind of got brought back down. I think Rule is a reason of that. I think he's gotten them, mentally in the right place. They've kind of been like that, I guess, like since he's been here. Minus a few games his first year, so that's a fair statement to say. And like I said, this game is going to be a big game. This is, to kind of still keep you relevant. And it's crazy to say that with, going to play Northwestern. You know what I mean? But
hey, Northwestern's not that bad this year. I mean, they really aren't. They're 5-2, right?
But when you're looking at football, you're like, Northwestern was Vandy of the Big Ten.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of this year, like that's kind of like, of course you got Northwestern, and that's not entirely fair to say that because Purdue's kind of Vandy, but
right.
They still play physical, they still play well, but they're not. And not typically, an 8-win team, with stuff. They might get 7, they might get 6, but that was kind of them. So, but they always play us well and everything like that. So the embarrassment of last week, definitely I think got everybody kind of strapped back in and focus. And hopefully, with it being an early morning game and everything like that, they come out and dominate and play hard and, take the embarrassment personal and, choose to show, Northwestern an ugly loss to them. Give them the ugly side of things.
That's the hope, and to what I said before, I hope it's true again, but they do seem to respond well after losses. It's after the wins they struggle to keep the momentum. But versus the Northwestern team, and they're going to be simple, they're going to be vanilla, and they're going to be conservative. And then that's the thing that always worries me about Northwestern is if you're to list the teams that Nebraska consistently struggles with, it would be Minnesota, who plays a very conservative style brand of football. It would be Michigan, who plays a very conservative style brand of football. It would be Iowa, who plays a very conservative style brand of football. And it'd be Northwestern. I know we get the better of them more often than not, but those scores are usually pretty close outside of that one crazy Scott Frost game where we dropped, I want to say like 60 points on them. And that was a really, really bad Northwestern team. But these are the style of teams that Nebraska constantly bangs their head on the wall against. And I can't fully explain that one either. It's like they play teams that wait for Nebraska to make, well, I can't explain it. Teams that wait for Nebraska to make a mistake usually play pretty well. And that is my only fear for this game.
They have just been a little bit more fundamentally sound and technically sound than us. That's Iowa, that's Minnesota, that's Northwestern. That's all it comes down to, just being fundamentally sound and executing better. Now, when Nebraska plays a Michigan, plays an Ohio State, plays a Colorado and everything like that, where it generates excitement and for us to be on the big stage and everything like that, we typically play, we bring our A game and play better. And it can't be that. You have to play consistently regardless. You can't play down to, your competition. And I think that's something that we've been doing for a while. That's just not, just with Rule.
Yeah, that's a good way to say it. The easiest way to say it is we constantly seem to play down with our competition. We haven't had too many games where it feels like Nebraska is turning a page and then the next week they show that, where it's like we'll just kind of go drop down to whatever the level of the opponent is, or like I said before, we'll play up to Ohio State's level. It's an interesting thing. Now, all this doom and gloom stuff, I will say, if you were to look at the schedule and say, hey, your 2 losses are Michigan and Minnesota before the season started, how many people would have been horrendously shocked? Not very many. And this is where we're at. We're 5-2. The season's not over. There's plenty of games left to play. It's all about how they respond, though. Nebraska football can easily wash away a lot of the bad taste in people's mouths by just polishing up the rest of the year. Because last year, what happened to this point was not only did we get to 5-1 and lose, then we lost, and then we lost, and then we lost, and then we lost, then we got one, and then we lost. This year, if you just win, get to 8, 9 wins, I think people can take a breath. You know, maybe they wanted more, especially seeing how the season started, but that's at least improvement that you can point at. Now, I will say you want to see maybe 9, just because if you look at next year's schedule, it's going to say a different story on how tough that schedule is. But you got to show some signs of improvement. And although it's a tough loss to Minnesota, there's still plenty of room to show that improvement. So not always the loss, but just some interesting trends to point out with Husker football. We'll throw it to break. Don't go anywhere. Dumb Punt Hour with the morning. Pierson-El, Harrison Arns at the Ticket Studio.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students, such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Concrete Industries has immediate job openings for precast production laborers and maintenance technicians. Concrete Industries offers great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, holidays, and paid time off. Apply today to earn a starting pay of $21.50 per hour plus a $1,500 hiring bonus. Concrete Industries is hiring all experience levels and offers on-the-job training. Start your career today as a precast production laborer or maintenance technician. Visit concreteindustries.com.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100. Or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or Seward and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
Big news, Nebraska. Love Omaha is now Love Nebraska. This is more than just a new name. It's a tribute to what Nebraska represents in the world of volleyball. It's still the same team with the same mission, led by players you know and love. Now backed by a new ownership group led by Jordan Larson. As Love Nebraska, they're entering an exciting new chapter, pushing for a championship title in 2026 and building new opportunities for the next generation of players across the state. They want you with them. Let's show the world how Nebraska plays volleyball. Join the movement at lovneb.com and sign up to become a Love Nebraska Insider today.
Comfort food, but make it vegan. At Rutabagas, they're serving all your crave-worthy classics. Mac and cheese, loaded nachos, Philly cheesesteaks, all 100% plant-powered and 100% delicious. Catch them at their cozy spot at 70th and Vine, or find their food truck rolling through the streets of Lincoln. So whether you're vegan, veg curious, or just hungry for comfort food with a twist, Rutabagas has a plate waiting for you. Find them on Instagram for their food truck location and specials. Rutabagas, where comfort meets compassion. MWR is dedicated to building attractive, affordable steel buildings that exceed your expectations. From commercial to residential to agriculture storage, steel buildings are cost-effective, attractive, and versatile. Plus, they're a lasting investment and an ideal choice. MWR uses Sentinel Building Systems out of Albion and can service you all over the state and region. If you have interest in a steel building, post frame building, or fencing, give MWR a call today at 402-980-5273 or go to mwrbuildingandfence.com. The temperature and leaves are falling daily, so that means it's time for a new pair of shoes for the fall season from Brown's Shoe Fit. Now through October 31st, take $15 off any regularly priced fall shoes and boots. Brands like Keen, Oboz, Echo, Taos, and Atrex all $15 off. Some exclusions may apply. See store for details. This is the sale you've all been waiting for, so get down to Brown's Shoe Fit on 66th and Q.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contests, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe. This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program. Here is your host, Pierson-El.
Welcome back in. Third and final segment here on the Don't Punt Hour. Before we get a pre-recording spare time, that'll be the next hour. And then Chris Rapp will join me from 9 to 10 o'clock. And then late night in Lincoln with me in DP. All right, let's talk about the good. Let's talk Husker volleyball here. 18-0. They go undefeated on the road in Michigan. They take down Michigan State in Michigan. But this weekend, they also have Northwestern Friday, and then they get Michigan State. Again, quick turnaround as they play Michigan State last week Friday, and now they get them again this week on Saturday, but now they get them at home. But for those guys to be sitting here at 18-0, just a really dominant performance from those guys so far. And Demorny Pierson-El, I'll just ask you quickly, you know, with Busboom Kelly, there's no doubt that she was a good coach, but man, these guys are just looking flat out dominant. And I am a little bit impressed about how clean of a swap this was from John Cook, an absolute legend, massive shoes to fill, to Busboom Kelly coming in here and really just, you know, maintaining what has been built.
I mean, excuse me, I'm not surprised. I mean, she's a damn good coach. You know, she knows what it takes from being within the program. She put her own twist on things and everything like that. And I mean, I'm not saying I expected exactly this, but it doesn't surprise me at all. Yep. You know, she's got everybody rolling or whatnot. I mean, she did get, you know, Louisville to the final four last year? Championship. Sorry, excuse me. Championship game. So, I mean, it's not shocking. It was in a contract that if once Cook retired, she was the only place that she could go to the coach was Nebraska. So, I mean, it's been you know in the crock pot for a while. So, I mean, I'm not surprised in it at all.
Yeah, and I should actually even correct my own statement, you know, because I did a disservice. Busboom Kelly is not just maintaining; she is adding to. And I that's the part that has surprised me. Like, I didn't think she was going to come in here and, you know, ruin the program or anything. I knew she was going to be a good coach. But for her to really add some of her own, you know, personality and what she's experienced down there in Louisville and some of her other stops and really getting this team to rally behind her. And they play a little bit different than John Cook. But again, They're undefeated at 18-0. They had some tough ones early in the year with a reverse sweep to Kentucky on the road, and then a tough one with Creighton. But the most, impressive thing with this team, and I told this Jalen Reyes as well, was the mental fortitude of this team is what every Husker football fan has desired. Things may not be going well for those guys early, or, might be in that second set and they still are looking rough. But they always find a way to relax and really just find a way to dig deep and gut these games out. And I'm not saying it means they're going to go undefeated the rest of the year, although I definitely wouldn't be surprised if they manage it again. It just goes to show, though, how resilient this team can be, and that's why they're so good. It's not just all the talent on the floor, which is a massive part of it, and that's due to, Jalen Reyes, Buster McKelly, John Cook, and that entire staff, the recruitment they do, but it's also the culture that they've built within it, where there's just no drop-off. And even when the players off the bench come in there, they have their expectations, and they seem to play well as well. So I just want to tip my cap. And again, they got the pink match. It is the Still Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so Friday. So if you are heading to that Northwestern game on Friday, be sure go out there, support it, wear pink, for it is that pink match, and it's almost the end of October before you know it. So be sure to be out there, support breast cancer awareness. But I just want to tip my cap to Husker Volleyball as they continue to stay hot, undefeated, and they got a couple more games this weekend. Good morning, Pierson-El. Appreciate it, as always, here on a Wednesday night. Don't go anywhere, though. Like I said, we got a pre-recording with the Husker Bowlers, Jillian Martin and Kayla Starr, right here at 93.7 The Ticket, ticketfm.com.